What's up everyone? I'm Avatar Klash. Quick intro about me before I get to today's video. I like to play the Pokemon TCG, whether it's online or IRL in terms of tournament play. I also like to collect as well, mainly opening packs. So if you're interested, please like and subscribe. But for now, I am going to talk about the story and just a little rant about the Pokemon market, but the story about how I got these. So basically, an overview, I saw this YouTube video by another YouTuber. I think his name was like the Pokemon Doctor, and he said like there's a GameStop promotion, or like maybe not promotion, but like these bundles are gonna be released at your local GameStop on Valentine's Day. That's what the video featured, and I was like, huh, I have nothing better to do. Let's go check it out. But I didn't know if that would happen at like limited stores or everywhere. So I talked to my friend about it. He said, oh, in my area, there's going to be 70 booster bundles according to their, I guess, GameStop announcement. So it's like, hey, okay, maybe it'll happen in my town. I do live in a smaller area. So I guess there will be a limited supply. So basically, I was like, you know what? I will just drive around that little strip mall, not necessarily wait there at like 9 a.m. hoping to be number one. That's not my style, but like, I wanted to explore that strip mall for a bit because it's like there are other stores, other restaurants besides just going to GameStop. That's primarily my focus. And when I go around that area, I also like going to this Asian place, very delicious rice bowl. But with all that aside, I went to the other stores. I was like not encouraged to shop at a store because it was not my size. It was not like bad. It was just it did not have my size. But yeah, after I explored a little bit, I went to the GameStop and I was like, "Oh, people are lining up already." Oh gosh. So I was like, okay, I gotta get in line. Like, do you want to get there ridiculously early? No. But do you want to be 35th in line? Also no. So the thing is that, you know what? I'm gonna talk to these people, see if they're here for the Pokemon drop or they just don't know that it opens at a certain time. So it's like, hey, what are you here for? Pokemon drop Charizard! So, yeah, we were just talking about like the 151. What do you like about 151? Someone was like, Charizard! Charizard! While the other ones was like, I just want to pull Blastoise, man. Like, so that's the conversation. And then, like, they were explaining about like grading and talking about how the Pokemon card collecting hobby is literally in shambles right now. And I do agree that it is in shambles. Like, it's so hard to find a lot of things. Like, my Target completely wiped out. Completely wiped out. And but with the GameStop stuff, we were talking about it, and then they were talking about how it's so hard to find prismatic. It really is hard to find prismatic. Like without my local game store hosting an event and me getting there on time, I would have not been able to get prismatic in the first place. So it's like, hey, like the next moment, it was like, hey, you want to see the back of my trunk? I have two mini T cases. And I'm like, you're just complaining about how it's hard to find stuff. But I was really curious, and so it was just like, you know what? Let's see if this guy really does have stuff at the back of the trunk. And so, like me and the other people, we were looking at the back, and it's like, oh, you really have two cases. And so, like, we were curious, but I was the one that asked, hey, man, where did you get it? Where did you get the tins? And then it was like, I know a guy. I mean, I don't know how to take it. Maybe it was just actually a guy that got lucky on the Pokemon Center and bought it all. But and then this guy got two mini cases, $15 per tin, leading up to I want to say $240 ish. So I don't know. Maybe I'm doing the math wrong, but $15 a tin for 8.90. no, 180-ish. I don't know. I'm tired to do math. So yeah, it was explaining to me, but I was like, I don't know, like, because I was kind of we were talking about it, and I was like thinking, oh, they're not scalpers. But then the two mini cases at the back, I don't like to accuse, but I'm like, how do you have two mini cases? And okay, and still complaining. Um, with all that aside, he was selling, like, tried to sell it to us for $15 a tin. The couple other people that were with me were like, "Hey, we want to buy two each." So they paid the guy, and then he was asking if I wanted. I'm not gonna lie, I did want the Jolteon tin because Jolteon is my chase, and like even just getting a Jolteon tin is close enough. So I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't necessarily have the right cash on me. Like I did have cash, it was just like, dude, I don't know if you have change or not. So he's like, I didn't, and he wasn't aggressive about it. He was really nice about it. So I was like, you know what? This is fine. It's fine. And then when it actually came to opening game time with getting these booster bundles, it was like, you know what? let's let's see how this goes. It was very civil. No one's elbowing each other. We're all standing in line to get the booster bundles, and then the same dude that got the prismatic at the end at the back of the car. He was like, "Hey, I know it's two limit, like two tins per. I mean, two booster bundles per person, but can I get four? What? Like, bro, yeah, this is two limit per person." And then he's like, "Oh, I have two accounts." Two accounts? Wait, pro membership? And then he's like, "Yeah, okay." So two. So I guess that's the math adding up, but at the same time, you're this. I mean, I guess what was going through my mind is, it's the same person. You're standing right there. Like, how? Okay. So the GameStop employee was like, "No, sorry. I mean, the person was probably like, I mean, you're standing right there." But GameStop employee held their ground and said, "No, it's only two per person. I'm sorry." And he wasn't aggressive. He was just like, "Okay, I'll just get the two then." So that ended up really smooth sailing. But at the same time, it was like, FOMO really does get in the way of Pokemon card collecting. Like, it's so crazy right now. Like, I guess it was just phenomenal how like scarce it is, to the point that I was almost surrendering to the FOMO, because like realistically, if you're looking at TCG Player right now, it's $30 a tin last time I checked. But the fact that he was doing $15 a tin, I guess it was a good deal within itself. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'll let it ride out. It will just be fine. And I was okay with getting the booster bundle because that was my plan, just to see if the GameStop thing was happening in my local area. So it just made me think about how I almost surrendered to FOMO, which is not a good thing. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad, because without surrendering to FOMO, I would not feel as guilty about this. So uh, there is that. And I guess the next part of this rant is about like, it's so scarce that I understand people are buying, and it's just completely, I don't know how to word it, like it's just completely just fun, like crazy right now, like with all the Costco fights, the pushing people around at Target and like scalping everything, like this, and then pushing it all in the cart, and hearing the Costco people, like some that really didn't get one, like one Blooming Waters, for example, and you hear them just say, "Bro, just give me one. Just give me one, please." It really is heartbreaking that people are going through that. And people should not be stressed about the hobby. Like, if it totally stresses you out, I understand you leaving. I've had a couple of subscribers reach out. It's like, "Hey, I kind of left the Pokemon hobby," which is very understandable, especially with the economy right now. And I will not be like that one person that people are talking about right now about being tone deaf, and just say, "Hey, man, $200 in ETB is nothing. You should be able to pay it. If you can't, get out or work more. I'm like, okay. I did watch that video, but that was basically the ending of it. And people are like, dude, you're being tone deaf. And even with also creators, like I acknowledge that I'm even the problem despite trying to just get one thing, like one or two things. I realize I'm the problem because with all the content, just opening up product, like, and then like even the big content creator complaining about how the Pokemon hobby is just going downhill, and then the next video is, for example, like a title, hey, I'm opening at least 1,000 or I mean like $750 worth of 151. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I'm like, I understand you save up over time. There's nothing like I understand that portion, like saving up over time so you could do the pack openings. I am actually saving these booster bundles on a birthday pack opening, but I'm not gonna hoard stuff for years and then be like, oh, the hobby sucks. Okay. Like I guess I'm not gonna say, oh, the hobby sucks, and then open up $1,000 worth of packs. I'm like, no. Like, I'd rather just get singles at that point. It is so much easier to just get singles. Would it be cool to pull Raging Bull, or like I actually did pull these cards, the Mew EX and the Blastoise? Absolutely. But just getting the single could be more cost effective at the end of the day, or even just expanding to different languages. Like, this card is $100 last time I checked in English with Paradox Rift, but in Japanese the market $20. Even with just this, is it cool to just be able to read stuff? Yeah, but same principle with Raging Bull, $120 ish, but in reality, like in the Japanese market, based on TCG Player, it's around $15 to $18 last time I checked. So that's pretty cool. Or even like less is more, meaning like you don't even need to get the expensive cards if you're just looking the master set, like buying singles online. For example, this may not be the most expensive card in the Scarlet and Violet base set. I do acknowledge that. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, how? How, like, it's okay to, like, get this card just to try to complete it. Like, I personally got this for $5. Like, I don't know how much it is now, but, like, getting a lot of cards getting a lot of cards for less amount of money per card, I feel like it's more worth it than trying to get every single pack possible just for that one pull. Like, will there be a higher chance of that happening with the more packs, like getting that one pull? Absolutely. But, like, being cost effective wise, it would be easier to just get cheaper singles to complete your master set. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. You're free to express your opinion down below in the comment section. And, like, in terms of also just Pokemon card collecting, like going to the hunting side of things. Like, I like to go out. I mean, if I didn't like to go out, I would have not went to GameStop for just going on. I mean, instead of just going online. I like actually going out and having different conversations with people, like what's their view on things, and like, oh, like seeing how even how regular people are just struggling. I don't like to see people struggle, but understand their perspective on things, because it's really important to gain other people's perspective, at least in my general opinion. But basically, don't surrender to FOMO. Don't surrender to the hype. If you really want the chase card, it's easier to just get a single, in my opinion. And like, also, it's okay to not like open the newest set every time. It's always okay to take a step back from Pokemon collecting in general, or even just going back to older sets. I mean, Temporal Forces, that's a set I personally like. It's not even that old, but I would be okay with like stepping back for a prismatic because it's really hard to get stuff like that right now in order to get temporal forces. So it's okay to step back with all that, and also don't surrender to FOMO. Don't try to spend all your time getting the chase card because everyone wants it. If you love the Pokemon that's the chase card for, in this case, Umbreon with Prismatic, if Umbreon is really your favorite Pokemon before all the hype happened, go for Umbreon. That's all good. But I wouldn't want people to be like, oh, I want Umbreon just because it's the number one chase card of the set and then sell it for triple the price. That's not like, I don't know. I don't know how to word it, but I guess I just don't want people to surrender to that feeling. But overall, I feel like with that rant aside, I've said what I needed to say, but just a little ending. So if you want to see what happens with these 151 tints, please go like and subscribe to the channel because I will do a big, well, not necessarily big. I will do like a grand birthday opening video because it's my birthday next month. I'm gonna wait a couple more weeks to see like how much I could get in terms of card collecting. Like see how many more packs I could get for myself, and then we'll film a big birthday opening video. So, with all that said, thank you so much for your time. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon for more fun. Thank you.